Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or my list and sideboard guides before tournaments, check out Patreon or the YouTube membership program. This channel is made possible by these amazing sponsors. Check out all their links in the video description below. Once again, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing some Legacy, and I've got an exciting one for you today. This is Dragon Delver. This is a deck that absolutely handled me last week when I played against it on the channel. Immediately after that match last week, I logged on to 2CG Player and bought 4 copies of Invasion of Tarkir because it is a banger. This deck comes from Patreon subscriber Old Greasy, who came in just in time and asked me to play the deck, which is great because I wanted to play it anyway. Shout out to Old Greasy for having great taste in decks. Most of the cards in this deck should look very familiar. This is Izzet Delver. This is the same nonsense that is always on the verge of breaking every format it's part of. Blah, blah, blah. Force of Will, Daze, Lightning Bolt, Efficient Threats, 1 mana, 3 power flyers. You know the drill. But this one has a big spicy twist on it, and it's Invasion of Tarkir from March of the Machine. 1 and a red. When Invasion of Tarkir enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. When you do, Invasion of Tarkir deals X plus 2 damage to any other target, where X is the number of cards revealed this way. On its surface, this is a shock. This is a 2 mana shock, not a great rate, but it's direct damage that can go face in the matchup. It's a battle, which is a different card type for Dragon's Rage Channeler. And this deck happens to have 7 dragons in it between Sprite Dragon and Murktide Regent that you can reveal and get a full lightning bolt out of this. And if you ever get 4 damage, you're just running around high-fiving all your neighbors. And wait, there's more. If you could deal 5 damage to this battle once your opponent is in charge of defending it, you get a 4/4 flying trample that whenever a dragon you control attacks, it deals 2 damage to any target. It is very easy to flip this thing in this deck. 5 damage seems like a lot, but if you play Dragon's Rage Channeler, shock their blocker, attack for 3 with the Dragon's Rage Channeler, now you're just 1 more attack or a lightning bolt away from flipping this thing. Then once this thing is flipped, it's a whole different kind of problem, and it already got value on the way in. And the flip side, the Defiant Thundermaw, doesn't say when it attacks, it's whenever a dragon you control attacks. This thing the creature doesn't have haste on its own. If it flips on your turn, you cast it and it has to follow all normal rules. But if you lightning bolt in your opponent's end step, the battle flips immediately, and then you untap and can attack right away. Surprise 6 damage out of nowhere. You can also use sorcery speed things like Chain Lightning to flip the dragon pre-combat and then attack with a different dragon, Sprite Dragon and or Murktide Regent, and get 2 damage each out of those. The first Defiant Dreadmaw also instantly flips the next Invasion of Tarkir. It gets in for 6, and you only need 5 to flip this thing. The only interesting texture is putting 5 damage on this worth not putting 5 damage on your opponent? And I think that's going to be matchup specific, and we'll see how it shakes out in practice. But the 5 damage you put into the Invasion of Tarkir pays off on the first attack of Defiant Thundermaw, which gets in for 6. Really cool texture added to this deck. And a super stupid thing that is true, that might not be obvious on the surface if you haven't seen it in action. Chain Lightning deals 3 damage to any target. That player or permanent's controller can pay red to copy this spell. Invasion of Tarkir, you are the controller of that, even though your opponent's in charge of defending it. So for 3 red mana, you could put 3 damage on your Invasion of Tarkir, then copy Chain Lightning, and put 3 damage either somewhere else or another 3 onto the invasion and flip it right away. That is completely bananas, just breaking all the rules of this card. I have played against new players who think this is multi-kicker, who they just like tap 5 mana and say take 9, and I have to inform them that's not how this card works. But that kind of is how this card works when combined with Invasion of Tarkir, or any battle, really. Just surprise weirdo synergy with a card from 1994 when combined with cards from 2023. And that's what Legacy's all about. We don't need to go into the rest of these card choices. This is just the Izzet Tempo, Izzet Delver Shell, and we got a bunch of dragons in it now. Let's go play this thing. On the play in round 1, Tragic No Lander would have been the nuts if any of these cards at random was a land. Mulligan that one. Here we go. This does not have Dragon's Rage Channeler and Bauble, which is what I liked most about that first hand, but it is going to see more cards, and I'm ready to run it. I'm going to bottom Murktide Regent. Keep the hand, bottom Big Mercs. That's the one that's farthest away from being useful to me right now, and I'll find it when I need it. Start with a Ponder. Looking for land number 2 to get Sprite Dragon running. Okay. You talked me into it. Okay, if I get Wastelanded, then I can't play Sprite Dragon on turn 2 anyway, and I can Ponder into the land. I'm going to stack Volk, then Wasteland, then the other Volk. Ghost Quarter. Oh no. Playing against lands in round 1. They have Tabernacle and Exploration. What is happening to my life right now? At least I do have a basic in the deck for Ghost Quarter. My life is pain. Okay, I'll grab this island. And time to get in there with Sprite Dragon, I guess. Start trying to cause whatever trouble I can. If they have Life from the Loam, we've probably lost already. Especially if they play around days when they cast it. Boseiju is in play now. And they've Life from the Loam playing around days. You know what's really cool in Magic the Gathering? When your opponent playing one of the worst imaginable matchups plays perfectly. Didn't give me the days, didn't give me anything. I'm going to try to get Sprite Dragon bigger. So this just doesn't even matter. I'm going to concede. I can't beat Ghost Quarter plus Tabernacle looping. That was... If I had to beat Delver in a tournament and I cheated, that is the hand I would choose. Okay, how do we rally back from this? Price of Progress, Force of Negation. Force of Negation answers Loam in a way that I actually care about. Surgical Extraction. I don't know how hard I need to go on that. We saw Urza's Saga, which kind of argues for at least 1 Meltdown. I have room for 6 cards here. Probably some number of baubles get the chop. Brazen Borrower answers Merit Lage. Daze seems actively bad. My opponent is willing and capable of playing around it. And I'm side grading Force of Wills into Force of Negation, so I can lose one of those. Do I want Submerge? Do I want Hydroblast? Do I want Maddening Hex? Probably no on Maddening Hex. Though it is can be a powerful card, but they can also win the game without casting any spells. So there are grindy Loam games where Hex would end them straight up on its own, and then there are just land drop Merit Lage games where Maddening Hex might not get a single trigger. I think I'm going to do it like this. The Submerge is tempting. The Hydroblast is also slightly tempting, but this is how I'm doing it. Let's go in. No threat. No cantrip. I do have Meltdown. That can mess up a Mox Diamond or Urza Saga start. I do have Wasteland. There's no blue card to go with this force. I gotta mulligan this. Okay, I'll keep this one. I'm gonna bottom Surgical. That's just the farthest away from being useful. There we go. Oh my god. Ancient Tomb, Mox Diamond. They stole the play from me twice here. They're now 2 mana ahead of me despite being on the draw on turn 1. I do have a force this game. I have Brazen Borrower that can interact. See how far any of this goes. Sphere of Resistance. I'm gonna brainstorm in response off of Island. Mostly looking for a blue card to pitch. Okay. Not great. Playing around Wasteland has cost me the ability to actually play the game at all. Figure that out. Dragon's Rage Channeler and Mishra's Bauble to the top. And this card is not actually beatable. I'm going to have to force it in. Show me the Pyroblast. Just put it on the stack. I know you have it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Am I getting punked? Do people still punk people? Is that happening? Okay, I'm going to waste this Ancient Tomb. Play my Bauble for 1. Bauble them to see another Mox Diamond and hope that's bad. And we'll take our way out of this. It's got to find a Meltdown and a red source. And 2 more lands. Taiga. Okay. Halfway there. Gotta fetch and a DRC. Yep, Wasteland right away. Oh, but it wasn't even the best card they could play. Perfect. Invasion of Tarkir, which now costs 4 mana. Starting next turn, I'll have 1 available to me. Okay, let's hope this DRC is good for 18 hits on its own. Oh, a second Wasteland. Good. Now my next card is also answered right away. Nice. Okay, at least a fetch land can hide for a minute. Maybe I can draw 3 consecutive fetch lands and cast a spell without getting wasted. Or if I draw a wasteland, I could waste their waste, kind of force the action. Oh no, we're actual Grove of the Burn Willows. Punishing Fire lands. Okay, Exploration's medium. They are officially hellbent here. They have a Mox Diamond in their hand, and no land to discard to it. No loam going, no engine. Getting Bajuka bogged off the top. Cool. Just in case Dragon's Rage Channeler ever thought it was going to do anything. Let's set the record straight. Okay, 14. This is the type of game that Price of Progress could cheese. I do have outs here. Oh, they have a spell. Endurance. Oh, it's interesting they did that now. I was 100% to attack. I guess they're worried about me drawing a land and forcing it. Alright, well, I was never going to draw land in my life. Get to keep DRC in play. Maze of Ith. Jesus. And now they can fearlessly attack as well. Oh my god. We're in something resembling business. I have to fetch non-basics here. Don't have any other things. I get 1 spell, and I think it should be Brainstorm. There's Channeler, and then Surveil. Yeah, Surveil, Brainstorm. Okay, they figured out the better line here. Last turn they attacked me and left a Maze of Ith. Leaving Endurance untapped in case I end up delirious and have to attack is the better line. Volcanic Island. Volcanic Island. Brainstorm. Casual 3 mana for that one. It's much worse when it costs that much. Murktide Regent, get out of here. Just show me 3 lands on this Brainstorm. 0 is good too, though. Thanks, deck. And I have to be careful how I stack these because I actively don't want Delirium. They should waste me now. Yep, okay. Well, I'm Brainstorm locked, and we're chilling. I'm at best at 4 life when I draw my next card. My next new card that I haven't seen already. The only chance in the universe is Price of Progress. I think I have to discard Sprite Dragon here. That doesn't give me Delirium. And it's not going to be part of this game. I'm trying to save my chump block for the last possible turn. Oh, Jesus, they drew loam. Okay, nope. This is the last turn. We're done. Okay, if you ever wanted to know what absolutely getting Delver's teeth kicked in by lands looks like, this is the match. Bookmark this for future reference. On to the next one. Jeez. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw for round 2, I'm going to keep this 1-lander with Dragon's Rage Channeler. This is what the deck does. And let's hope we don't play against Lance, who starts turn 1 with 6 permanents to play again. I mean, it's not exactly lands. This is a deck that is highly susceptible to Wasteland, a card that I play 4 of. But we are going to need to draw 1. And this Force of Will looking pretty tasty. Got a Grim Monolith on the stack. I don't think that's my Force of Will. Manifold Key, gross. If I force this, they are down a bunch of mana. I mean, there are payoffs that against which Force of Will is ineffective, and then there are payoffs against which Force of Will is amazing. And I'm just gonna hope for the good one. That's one of the good ones. Force this, pitching Sprite Dragon. I'm looking for a land, not a lightning bolt. I have enough of those, thank you. And come on, land. I'm gonna brainstorm first to see if I can spin up a land for this other DRC and lightning into the graveyard. Okay, I am not getting a land. I am getting Delirium. Wait, no, I'm not. Sorcery was only the second type. Oh, I am getting Delirium because I'm about to mill a creature. Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay, Murktide Regent and Sprite Dragon. Or I could put the battle on top, but that's direct damage. Murktide Regent and Sprite Dragon to the top. Mishra's Bauble, mill the Sprite Dragon. Bauble you, attack for 3. Thought-Knot Seer on top of the deck. Cool. Dead to that. Now that one's actually fine. My hand is not that exploitable to a Thought-Knot Seer. I already have Delirium, and my deck is just fire. Lots of it. My hand is just fire. Here's Thought-Knot Seer. They've tapped Ancient Tomb to play this thing. They still have 3 mana available this turn. Quick Murktide Regent, snapped it right off. Got a Trinisphere. What's going on here? Alright, deck. I'm in for this land, if we can do this for me. I could bolt in my upkeep, get an extra look at a land. I think that's actually good. I'm gonna bolt in the upkeep, get the bonus Surveil here. Got there. Would have kept that anyway, but here we are. Very clearly, here's a land. Attack for 3 flying. And I'll play the other Dragon's Rage Channeler and hope that my opponent is dead. They are dead between the board and my hand. I have damage. If they tap Ancient Tomb, they're dead on board without my hand. They're going to need to do something that either sweeps or gains a bunch of life this turn with their 3-card hand. They know the coast is clear. They have zillions of mana. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They could cast Ulamog this turn. They're tapping Eldrazi Temple for not Eldrazi mana, which doesn't necessarily make me feel better. Okay. Alright, this kills my Dragon's Rage Channelers. I still have a chance to burn them out. My deck has a lot of fire in it. They were correct not to tap Ancient Tomb. Murktide Regent's probably my best draw. Ugin can't hit that. Force of Will. Not what I wanted. I am going to Invasion of Tarkir them. Get them down to 5. I'm playing the card that costs 2 when I have 2 mana. I will not be able to double spell if I cast a 1-drop now. Opponent's at 5. Ancient Tomb is officially dead. Ugin's ultimate does gain life, but that's 3 turns away. They go to 8, go to 10, then minus. I'd be dead by then anyway. 4 of my 6 lightning bolts are accounted for. Oh god, Expedition map. This can get Glimmer Post and then they win. Because I can't burn them out anymore. Now they're at 7. Double Bolt doesn't work. And this dragon costs 2 when it flips, because that's what the front costs. So even if I top deck a red source, I can't do the Chain Lightning trick and instantly flip Dreadmaw, because it doesn't even matter against Ugin. They tap their Ancient Tomb, so they're back in burn range. Must have a plan here. What's the payoff? The second thought, not taking my burn spell. Yep, that works too. And I'm taking 4 down to 7 now, and they have lethal on board. I would have to brainstorm into land and my last 2 bolts, but that's not even possible because I only have 2 cards in hand. That wasn't it anyway. Okay. A complete bashing. Actually, that one was less complete of a bashing than the last one. We were actually in a pretty good race there. They just resolved some exciting spells. Price of Progress, get in my deck. Once again. Force of Negation, get in here. Wow, Fury. It's like pretty good against the Eldrazi half of their deck. Daze seems basically unplayable here. It's a blue card, but that's all it is. They could have Chalices. We saw Keys, so maybe they don't have Chalices if they have Keys. Okay, I'm going like this. Low to the ground on the play. We'll keep this hand. Need to find a threat, but I've got some fire. Line of the Void, okay. That's a card that exists. I'll bobble myself. See if I like this one. Force of Negation. I think I do like that one, thank you. I'm gonna play this land, not fetch it, and pass. I have 1 answer in my deck to a Leyline of the Void. and it's Brazen Borrower. I could also just kill my opponent with the Sprite Dragon. Okay, I'm going to shock this in and just pass. I don't know what I need to react to yet, so I'm not going to react to anything. Outpost. I'm going to brainstorm in the end step. Time to try to do something. This is too many forces. I'll put back 2 of them. And I'm going to send a lightning bolt upstairs in the end step. Burning them out is my plan, and I'm going to start to execute it. Dragon's Rage Channeler, okay. DRC, cast Ponder. Lightning bolt, leave it on top. Leave it all on top. Burning you out. Oh, hello. Don't shuffle the library. Okay, here we go. We got a plan. Lightning bolt you, price of progress you. Attack for 1 a couple times. 1 force of will in the middle. Any tapping of the Sanctioned Tomb is just good news for me. Okay, counter this. Unfortunately, I guess I should have stacked that land on top, because I'm not going to get any value out of DRC this way. Right, I'll mill the land next turn. Having price of progress available to me, I'm not mad about. Bolt you. Opponent's at 12. I'm going to put them to effectively 2 right now. Top's good for 6, bolts for 9, DRC attacks for 1. If they tap the Sanctioned Tomb, I can kill them in response. Okay, now they're dead. Pop. Searing Forest into the graveyard. They're at 1, bolt you. Fire! Get red cards for the win. Okay, we're playing against Leyline of the Void. My opponent is doing that. Is that something I care about? I don't think it is. I don't have an answer to it. That's not already in my main deck. I have 1 Brazen Borrower if they're going to choose to be about that life, which we just demonstrated is not actually that game-breaking. Being the version of the deck with 2 extra bolts and 4 extra shocks in it is pretty dope here. I wonder if I'm supposed to be on Maddening Hex over something like Fury. If this game's going to come down to fire, then let's get fiery. I'm going to shave a Bauble. They're a Karn deck, and they showed me Leyline, which makes Bauble worse because I don't care about Delirium. Keep this heater. Give Leyline again. Ancient Tomb is their start. Dragon's Rage Channeler is mine. I'm not going to play Bauble now because it also triggers Sprite Dragon, and it's worth extra damage next turn, and it's worth almost nothing right now. From Monolith resolves. Golos Tireless Pilgrim, yikes, that's a big freaking guy. The double Ancient Tomb start is not painless for them, though. They've seen Price of Progress, and they're still just like, 2 Ancient Tombs looks good. Okay, I would like to find some free permission. Ending Hex, what's up? That may or may not actually matter. Fetch Volcanic Island, play Sprite Dragon. I am going to Bauble this turn. Start pushing damage, and I'd like to get the redraw before they Karn me. Force of Will on top. Let's leave that right where it is. What are you cooking with? Thought Not Seer. Okay. And begin the damage. Golos does not have reach. Drawing Force of Will buy me another turn, put another counter on Sprite Dragon. Arrakis bouncing Golos is a whole ass engine. But if they go for that and I bounce them on the way back down, like if they think they're going to pick up Golos, then get a Cloud or a Glimmer Post and stabilize, got bad news. Okay, they are bouncing Golos. They bounce it before damage. Did. Weird. Force of Will, pitching Brainstorm. I think I'd rather have Ponder in this matchup because my hand already is full of good cards. Just going to look for more good cards. Don't need a 3rd Sprite Dragon, I need Velocity now. That Velocity comes from land Ponder. I could Ponder and Brainstorm. I could Ponder. I'm going to start with Ponder. So actually, I think this Maddening Hex is past its prime. I am going to Brainstorm. Put Ponder in the graveyard. I'm looking for lands right now. Ooh. Maddening Hex, get out of here. And Ponder, get out of here. No, I want to keep Ponder. I'll send the 3rd Sprite Dragon away. And I'll play the 2nd Sprite Dragon now. Keeping Invasion in my hand. Or I could Invasion, just bolt them. Wait, are they dead? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could put them to 1. Oh, I'm doing that. that functionally strip mines them twice because they can't tap these Ancient Tombs anymore. Oh, I had them dead if I kept the other Sprite Dragon. Wow, I blew it. Yeah, they were actually dead if I just revealed 2 dragons here. Should have counted that up before we got there. Revealed just 1 dragon, unfortunately. Miss lethal. Chat lethal was actually true. And I am going to attack my opponent, not the battle. They're going to have to win this game on 2 mana and 1 life. And we got the GGs in the chat. I miss lethal. I'm not used to having to count dragons. I won't make that mistake again. Learn from me so you don't do that in real life. But scoreboard, on to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. On the play for round 3 with an absolute heater. Keep it. By the way, I should probably plug this. I have a TCG Player affiliate code. If you are going to go buy Invasions of Tarkir or anything else ever, the link in my video description or my link tree will pay me when you do that at no cost to you. So do that. Thank you. Just going to slam Dragon's Rage Chandler into play here. Easy game. Opponent's on 6. See what they're up to. My hand does not interact currently. Bloodstained Mire. Uh-oh. That's not in fair decks. Oh, we're so dead. Grief pitching Reanimate. Great. Okay. Best hand I've seen yet in the league. Repaired against Reanimator. The classic BoshNRoll story. Grief pitching Reanimate is kind of terrifying. That means they have more reanimation spells. Let's just hope they don't have Dark Ritual and Entomb Exhume, I guess. At least give me a turn to move around a little. I would appreciate that a lot. Oh no. Unmask targeting yourself. We're going to see Creature Reanimate. Oh my god. Yep, I would have kept this hand too. And they used exactly all of their resources to do this, which means they drew one of these 8 cards we just saw off the top. Cool. Okay, you're at 4. Oh. If I draw a dragon, they're dead. Come on! Take the Ponder. Take the Ponder. Take the Ponder. Took the Ponder. Okay. If I draw a dragon, I still win this. Okay. Murktide Regent Sprite Dragon off the top. Let's go! Okay. So, in that case, I'm going to go to second main, so I don't accidentally get Delirium here and have to attack into a Grizzlebrand. I'm going to play Volcanic Island, and I'm going to put my opponent to 1. That into my graveyard. Invasion of Tarkir. Reveal just 1 dragon, unfortunately. Put you to 1. And let's race. It's not a good race for me, but I mean, literally possible compared to not literally possible. Okay, Dark Ritual, Entomb. Okay, they just have a second monster. Yep, okay, I'm not beating the Archon of Cruelty. I had my window there to draw a dragon and didn't get there. Okay, Reanimator is what's going on. Surgical Extraction, Graft Digger's Cage, Force of Negation, all coming in. Maddening Hex, I don't hate. That's not my first wave of things I'm going to bring in, but if I can get stable and make them grind through a Maddening Hex, they'll die very quickly. Hydroblast counters Faithless Looting, if that's a thing. And as cool as it is, and as close as that was to being lethal, I think Invasion of Tarkir is the cut here. This is not a matchup where I need a shock. It is a matchup where I need a critical mass of blue cards to support my 6 forces. Chain Lightning is worse if I don't have the evasions. Bobble is an early selection. I'm into that. Maybe it's just Lightning Bolt. Being able to go upstairs around a Grizzlebrand is pretty exciting. Just gotta sideboard as if my opponent won't be a huge donkey. Daze is not exactly where I want to be here. I'm gonna mulligan this. I have better sideboard cards. The Zero Lander. Why? Why? Is this a 0-lander we keep, though? It has Force, Surgical. If my opponent's on the pivot and just casts Dothy Voidwalker, I'm so dead here. I'm keeping, though. I'm going to pass the turn, let them know my hand is full of 0 mana hate cards. I won a Star City Classic once playing Delver, and I kept a no-lander in Game 3 of the finals. It was a hand that looked like this one, and I was playing against Belcher. Reanimator is a little more stable than Belcher, but still the theory kind of holds. I'm going to let them loot, because I have the Surgical. Force of Negation is a nice clean answer to that, but I'd rather not 2-for-1 myself if it's avoidable. Traxa and Grizzled Razzle. Land off the top. Bobble. Can be anything, even a land. Bobble you. Chancellor the Annex right on time. Moral Victory. I drew another Ponder. Cool. Dark Ritual. Resolves. Exhume. I'm going to have to force that one. Force pitching one of these Ponders, I think. I still have hope for days. And then your 1 mana reanimate spell gets got by Surgical. Come on, follow the script. There we go. Surgical. We're targeting a Traxa. We'll remove that one. Just one Traxa in the deck. We have Grief. That's hard castable. There is no Dothy Voidwalker juke. There is Show and Tell. 2 Animate Deads, 2 Chancellors. Looks like they drew Chancellor for both of their turns this game. That's so funny. Get wrecked. The next land is trouble, though, because it represents Animate Dead in multiples. Okay. I'll take any land, even Wasteland at this point. You can miss a land drop too, though. We're both in the same non-functional position at this point. Their upside is higher. Bobble, Dark Ritual, Tilt. Grace and Borrower, you're killing me, deck. Killing me, making me dead. They're not going for it. They want to go more than 1 in a turn. Respect that. Oh my god. Set me free from this hell. Ponder's on the stack. The game is over. Force of Will. A second land. Alright, let's party. Now they're going to have to panic and start casting spells. Oh no, they're doing the opposite. They're being completely calm, and they want to make sure their next spell resolves. Smart. Spite Dargon. Spite you for 1. You have 8 cards in your hand. Do you want to go to cleanup, or is it go time on something? I have 2 forces and a daze, and I can do all 3. Oh wow, they want to go to cleanup. Wild. Extreme patience here. Hope it's not rewarded. No offense, opponent. Ponder, I want to start pushing damage. Grafdigger's Cage. That's a good one. Not shuffle my library. Do cast Grafdigger's Cage. Grow my Sprite Dragon. Now I have a significant wall up, in addition to all this counter magic. 5 of their 8 cards. Oh, they're going to clean up again. Last turn, I assumed they had a plan. This turn, they might just be getting got by Cage. Bobble. Bobble you. Go to Delta. And I'm drawing Sprite Dragon. I could Brainstorm now. Does that change the clock? It could. It's hard to predict how many spells are going to be cast. If I don't cast a spell for the rest of the game, it's a 4-turn clock with a 4-4 or a 5-5. I think I'm going to hold on to the Brainstorm. I'm ahead right now. I just want to make sure every card gets every drop of value that it can. Drawing Sprite Dragon. They're drawing Polluted Delta. Ooh, bad lands from hand after drawing Polluted Delta. They had a land last turn and they wanted to go to discard. Oh, they're playing to Show and Tell now. That's what's going on. I do know those are in the deck. I am going to end step Brainstorm. I want this velocity. I like it. I don't need another land. Yeah, I can draw the Bobble, Sprite Dragon, Bobble, Trigger, Dash. Do I have least lethal if I daze my Bobble? If I Bobble, alright, I have 6 damage. Bobble makes 8. Daze makes 10. Then I can replay my land and play Brainstorm, all with Force backup. Let's get fancy. Bobble, Trigger, Daze, Trigger, Brainstorm. Hope I counted correctly. Looks like 12 to me. And I found a lightning bolt. We did it. kept the no lander, and then stormed off on turn 9. Too easy. Okay, they have show and tells. Does that change much? We saw 2 show and tells. I already have 10 counter spells in my deck. I only have 3 pieces of graveyard hate. The only thing I could do against show and tell is bring in Pyroblast. Seems like such a spew. I could just get turn 1'd, and they never cast a blue card. Oh, that's risky. The Maddening Hex might be aspirational. I did look at that once and then ship it. So I am playing to a mid-game where I want them to have to grind through it. I could shave a Bauble or a Bolt and get a Pyroblast in. I don't think I want to go any lower on Bolts. I'm going to go 1 Pyroblast out of respect for the show and tell juke. They saw my Grafdigger's Cage. They might go harder if they have some more in the sideboard. This hand's really good. I just gotta hope they don't turn 1 me with protection. If I get a turn 1, then I have Daze and I can use Ponder. Opponent kept 7. I'm already mad. Grief, great. Pitching him to Turok. Okay, so are we dead? Taking the surgical as one does. Even just like a sad little reanimate Grief is pretty solid here. Boom. Doing it now. And they've seen the Daze, so either they can pedal and do something now, or they can play around Daze next turn and they know it. Okay, I am going to cast Ponder this turn. I have lots of free spells I could find, and it doesn't give away any new information. I gotta shuffle that. That was just 3 cards that don't help me. And if they play around Daze successfully here, I'm dead. I could technically top deck Brazen Bar. Oh. Passing. They can't beat a Daze here. They were just trying to get something going before Daze got online. And now I have 2 pieces of free interaction and a real threat. Let's go. Daze holding the fort. Okay, no play again. Oh, this is exactly the spot this was for. I spend a game looking stupid and then a game looking smart. Hex you. Okay, now whatever they do, they have to wade through Maddening Hex to do it. Grief was the friggin' card I didn't want to see here. Okay. I can't counter this because it's Grief, not Unmask. They can take 1 of my counter spells. They might be able to navigate the other, but it's going to cost them spells to do it. Their only 1 mana spell is Reanimate, which costs a bunch of life. And 2 mana spells get Dazed. They thought seizing me. Take damage. Just 2. I'm gonna let Thoughtseize resolve. Like, dealing the 2 damage is worth more there to me. And draw to Grafdigger's Cage. Sprite Dragon. Okay. I guess I just jam Murktide and DRC here. And hope I'm still alive next turn. Side. Making it maximum size. Dragon's Rage Channeler, get in. DRC could be risky, because if I get Delirium involuntarily, Grizzlebrand could kill me. But if they cast Reanimate here, they might just die. A good roll kills them. And any roll puts them dead to Bolt. They're dead to Bolt if they Reanimate regardless. If they have to Dark Ritual up and Exhume, they take multiple hits. The tension is high. Oh, we got a GG in the chat. Oh, they just couldn't get through it. Maddening Hex, locking out Reanimator. I wasn't sure in the sideboard, but it sure looks good right now. On to the next round. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw, in round 4, ton of selection and land jobs to make. I'll keep it. Obviously, this is not the blazing Delver hand you dream about when you register the deck, but willing to get sweaty. Opponent's on 6. Oh god, exile Simian Spirit Guide for Faithless Looting. Spirit Guide is aggro AF. Okay, speaking of aggro AF, it's a Root Walla strategy. Hope they kept a no-lander. Oh my god. No land, no land, no land. Blindside Diamond Tilt. And they've already played 2 creatures this turn, so they can't trigger Vengevine right now, and if they Angie's Ravager, I can bolt it. Hollow one is the one I didn't want to see. Okay. Remember when I kept this interactive hand thinking, I'll have time to figure it out? Well, I don't. Thanks for asking. I did draw a threat, though. My hand's really good. I'm genuinely stoked about this hand. Lightning Bolt, I will keep that on top. And let's see what my opponent's drawing. Another Rudy Duty. So LED's good for at least one creature here. Alright, their hand is Basking Rootwalla. They can pump one of them, which means they're getting in for 8 here, because I can't block either of them, because they could pump either of them. I have 2 bolts. I have to decide if I want to use those to kill the hollow one, or the 2 guys. Oh, alright, now hollow one's under control. I just need my graveyard hasty enough for the Mercfather to get in. I'm not going to attack. They could ambush me with a Basking Rootwalla and then activate it with their Lion's Eye Diamond. Does all that on its own. I could also just block Hollow one and get a trade here. I think that's easy money. And if they pump a Rootwalla, I bolt that one and then I bolt Hollow one. Right? I think this is better than having Dragon's Rage Channeler is getting rid of the 4/4. Okay, they're sinking the mana in. Their hand was a second Lion's Eye Diamond. So this is it. We're going to see some pumps here. We're going to see some bolts here. Bolt this jerk. Going to get some surveils. I'm going to bin Murktide because I'm already holding one. I'm going to get the other pump, and then I'm going to bolt Hollow one before combat damage, so I get another surveil out of it. Don't need this island either. Did get Delirious at the end of my run there. Wow, 2 Wastelands? Get wrecked. I'm going to take out your green. These Rootwallas will not get any bigger. And next turn I'll take your other land. And you can enjoy Murktide Regent and being dead. 5/5, bigger than Vengevine, bigger than Hollow one. Bobble. Bobble them before I ponder. You're drawing an ape. Ponder. Cool. Another threat. I stacked these wrong, but I think okay. Do I want Sprite Dragon? I mean, I want Sprite Dragon, but do I want Force and Daze under it? Yeah, I guess I do. I should have put Daze on top, though. That was not great. Okay, this race right now, they're dead in 4. I'm dead in 5. 1 pump changes that. I'll just be on blocking duty for a turn. Oh, right, I get Force and Daze because I bobbled. I'm really good at playing Delver. Just completely forgot about my own bobble. 100% would have not drawn a card there in paper. Okay, now let's put the boots on. This is a 3-turn clock, and I have Meaningful Interaction that also shortens my clock if I use it. I'll just daze any enabler. If they like Spirit Guide Burning Inquiry here, I'm going to daze it. Now I have 2 pieces of interaction. Opponent's dead on board. I am not dead on board. And I have 2 counterspells. This is the thing I said of I'll daze an enabler. Alright, cool. Feels good, man. They had a great start, but my deck's full of fire. Fury, Submerge, definitely coming in. Hydroblast looks good. Force of Negation is an option. Grafdigger's Cage stops Vengevine and Ox of Agonis. Surgical stops Vengevine and Ox of Agonis. It doesn't stop the Madness stuff. I don't think I need any of these red cards. My deck's full of red cards already. These are my sideboard tier lists. The first 3 definitely coming in. The next 2 maybe the third 3, if I feel like it. Murktide Regent is what actually won that game, just having a bigger creature than them, so their random nickels and dimes at the end don't add up. Mishra's Bauble seems medium. Daze also kind of medium. I don't hate it completely, but I think we can do a little better. Force of Negation's awkward because it hits all of the enablers but doesn't hit any of the payoffs. If we transition into the mid game where they're just casting random medium rate creatures, it's really bad. Do I want to cut my last Bauble for a Grafdigger's Cage or a Surgical? All my Lightning Bolts kill Vengevine. Brazen Borrower's fine. Fury's great. I think I am not going to go all 6 forces. I'll go 5 and 1 Surgical. I'm going to try it like this. Just diversify my threats. I'm a cantrip deck, or diversify my answers. See what they want to try to deal with. Okay, my hand has 2 removal spells in it. It does not interact on turn 1, though. But I can curve removal. Opponent kept 7, so I'm already dead. Okay. I am going to keep Alien of the Void. They're voiding me. Okay, they actually kept 6. It's fine. Just going to hope this is a bad card with Leyline of the Void involved. Or a bad hand with Leyline involved. Cast Blazing Ruwal and pass the turn. This was not the deal. Vengevine and Anger in the graveyard, but no Madness creatures. I like those odds. Okay, Cast Ponder versus Hold Up Lightning Bolt is the decision here. There is 1 surgical, and they are floating the shitter over there. I'm gonna Ponder. I mean, that surgical, the fun of Wasteland, Chained Lightning, Brazen Borrower. I like this fire and this Wasteland. Alright. I'm gonna keep this. It's not quite what I wanted. It would be a tough beat if they just go Root Walla from hand. Just don't even try to enable it. Uh-oh. Can't counter that with what I've got. Ah, there they are. That's fine. 2 Root Wallas, bring a Vengevine with them. I can Lightning Bolt Vengevine. I have other answers for the little ones. This Wasteland is feeling extremely hopeful at this point. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage, I'm at 11. I'm gonna fetch on my turn, I'm at 10. Okay, I'm gonna Chain Lightning the Blazing Ruwala, because that one is cheaper to activate. I want this to hurt if they're gonna do stuff. And I can Bolt the Vengevine on their turn, where they can't just cast 2 creatures and get it back right away. Fetch for Lightning Bolt. Bolt this Vengerino. Okay, they pumped Rootwalla, which means that even if they have Lion's Eye Diamond, I can daze it, and we're back in business. Okay, starting to stabilize, team. This is what we were looking for. Wasteland, get your green out of here. Invasion of Tarkir, kill your guy. And then they have 1 land versus Daze and a handful of cantrips. They do have Vengevine and Anger in the graveyard, though, both of which pretty solid. Fade this Rootwalla. And off we go. Okay, tentatively stable. If they can trigger Vengevine again, I'm super freaking dead. This is going to be a no from me. We've seen Simian Spirit Guide. We don't know if this is going to work or not. But Putrid Imp is a game ender. Cool. Got away with it. Force of Will, happy to see that. Brainstorm. Okay, that's a lot of juice in the tank here. I'm going to put back this Volcanic Island and one of the forces. Just hope I don't need more than one of those this game. Ponder. Looking for some red cards. Something that wins the game. Okay, here we go. Sprite Dragon in the mix. And double force to back it up. Uh-oh. This is frequently a trap. Oh, it's so bad. I gotta force this. Because if they just discard 2 creatures with Madness, Vengevine comes back, whether they resolve or not, and then I lose. Sprite Dragon. I think I want to invade Tarkir, not go face here. Getting a 4/4 that shocks every turn, that's a meaningful object on this battlefield. Give me 1 turn to operate here. Nice, okay. Now I cast Ponder, grow the Sprite Dragon. I have Murktide, which sucks anyway because of the ley line for force. We can get something going here. A second battle. That's cool. Second battle, better than Sprite Dragon. I think it is. Okay, don't shuffle my library. Dragon's Rage Channeler can block. So now we're talking about the trick that I mentioned in the deck tech of flip free combat and then attack with a different dragon to get a shock right away. Because we are in business for that. My life total is low and their graveyard is thick, but in the meantime, I've got a pretty good plan here. I'm going to continue my plan of Force of Will, literally anything. Maybe I'd let Blazing Rootwalla resolve, but Faithless Looting, Burning Inquiry, any such thing is getting forced. Oh, Firestorm, X equals 3, discarding Echo of Eons. Fascinating. I'm definitely forcing that. It just kills all my stuff and puts me to 1. Not mill this. Echo of Eons, huh? That's some wild mess. Hollow 1. Uh-oh. That has haste, which means I have to block it because I'm at insufficient life to not block it. I'm drawing the invasion. I'm going to invade Tarkir. I have 2 creatures that are big enough to tangle with Hollow 1 now. I'm going to shoot the other invasion and cast the backside. I lose if they can remove my dragon or trigger Vengevine. I'm going to bet against with those cards in their hand. Oh, right. I can just finish off the other one. We talked about this too. Just immediately flip the other dragon because I'm attacking for 6. Busted. Completely unreasonable. Okay, now I have 2 bodies and I can survive a Vengevine. They would have to, like, Burning Inquiry, hit a Rootwalla, and the card left in their hand would be Hollow 1. And I'm still stable on that board. You better attack. You're friggin' dead. Oh my god, they didn't attack. This is just a flurry of lethal fire, isn't it? Oh my god, another dragon. Okay, this is 4, 12, or 4, 8, 12, plus 4 for each of them on attack. Yeah, let's go. You're fired. I appreciate them letting me do this for the content. Opponents at 2 just from the attack triggers. Then they have another 13 damage to think about. Oh, that was awesome. On to the final round. Rally, rally. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the play in the final round, positive records locked. We're playing for the 4-1, and I'm going to keep this hand. My opponent said, expletive deleted. This pile gonna be on YouTube, LOL. Okay, we're playing against a pile. One of the strengths of Delver-based strategies, or Delver-style tempo strategies, is that they are really good against piles. I don't know why I fetched here. I was just busy narrating and was like, I'm going to fetch and cast Ponder, when just casting Ponder and leaving my fetch around is probably better. I'll pop a Daze in my hand for 2 layers of protection and a Bolt underneath them, and pretty much have most situations covered here. We'll see how crazy they get, though. We've been warned it's a pile. We've got a Wasteland from the opponent. That's fair. This is a way that my stuff all collapses if they just waste me again and Brainstorm doesn't get there. This hand is pretty susceptible to that. Okay, just a swamp. Deal. I'm gonna Brainstorm in the end step and try to spike. Okay, cool. That worked out perfectly. Now I can Sprite Dragon and start pushing with my free counter magic to back it up. I'm pretty excited that Sprite Dragon is in a legacy deck because I bought the Godzilla printing when it was new and it just never really took off. Oh my god, what is happening? Flagstones of Trocare, Dark Ritual. Classic combo. I think this is okay to force, because if I force this, pitching Sprite Dragon, I can Daze another spell this turn and cast Murktide for big beats on the following. Yeah, I can Daze this, and this is exactly what we signed up for. Attack for 3, make a big Murktide, and hope that they can't answer it. There it is, 7/7 and 3/3. Hope the load is blown already. Discard spells not great anymore. Edicts are still good. Lingering Souls, that one's effective here. Brazen Bee, that helps punch through the Lingering Souls. Oh, I just missed a point there. I was expecting them to block both creatures and then just clicked through it. I could have bounced or bolted another one. They're thought seizing me. I'm gonna Petty Theft Spirit Token in response. And then this thought seize is like saves 1 damage basically. Well, 2 because I don't get to buff Sprite Dragon anymore. Flashing back Lingering Souls. And I do appreciate this deck. Just a little Dead Guy Owl style business. I'm gonna Chain Lightning one of the spirits because not blocking will deal more damage than Chain Lightning will. It's Sprite Dragon almost bigger than Murktide at this point. Opponent quickly running out of life points. They're at 5, dead to either of my creatures. 2 cards in hand. I think if they had Plow, it would have happened before damage. Even if they have something like Damnation, a land gets Brazen Borrower going, and then they're dead to the Chain Lightning. Okay. This is historically the kind of deck that's pretty rough on Delver. I played a lot of Rug Delver in the era where like Esper Stoneblade Rug Delver Maverick was the metagame, and Black-White Lingering Souls nonsense was deceptively difficult to beat. Maddening Hex and Fury both seem really good here. Grafdigger's Cage does stop Lingering Souls if I want to dedicate a card to that. Do I think they're going to be like grief scamming me too? Because if they have the graveyard scam cards, Grafdigger's Cage is really good. If they have Ephemerate, it's not good. Am I going to have to wade through Flickered Solitudes this game? Just trying to fill in the blanks with cards that are reasonable in the format. I think I'm going to cut 2 Chain Lightnings and a Bauble. I want all my creatures. I like my battles. I don't really like Force of Will in this matchup, but I don't have like a Flusterstorm to bring in instead of it. It's just going to have to carry its own weight. In we go. I'm going to keep this hand with Disruption and Threats in it. Shambling Vents. Tight. Second Channeler. Let's go. This Channeler Sprite Dragon Force of Will curve's pretty hot. Sure. I've been wasted. I have lands. I'm not worried about that. Uh-oh. Dark Ritual and a Liliana. No, thank you. I'm going to pitch Sprite Dragon here because I think Brazen Borrower will cover more ground against this random BS. I'm actually keeping Invasion on top. I think that card's going to be good. Play another DRC here and attack with the first one. Then Invasion goes double Surveil, kill your thing, maybe kill Invasion immediately. Like if they just play some 2/2 here like Stoneforge Mystic, I'm probably flipping my Invasion immediately. Alright, sacrificing a creature. You got me. Fetch, Volcanic Island. I'm going to Invasion their face. Oh, sick. Second one, I'm just going to leave this on top. It would have given me Delirium to mill that, but it's better as Invasion, I think. Thoughtseize gets my Brazen Bee. Little Brazen Buddy. Play the Scalding Tarn and play the other Invasion. See if I get Delirium and flip this thing. Oh yeah. That does not give me Delirium, but it's an insane card to play next turn. Hit the first Invasion with this one. Alright, we're just working through it now. Invasion's on 1. Ready to flip. They've had enough. Okay. After getting completely smeared across the face of the planet by lands in round 1, we rallied back to a 4-0 rally in the back half. Back 80%, really. This thing is cool. I don't know that it's better than classic Delver with just, you know, actual Delver of Secrets in it and more efficient spells. Like, Invasion is not particularly efficient. It's just more a different texture of the game. It also incentivizes Sprite Dragon that has its own set of problems, dies to both Hydro and Pyroblast. It's a pretty anemic top deck late, though the snowball potential is huge. This is worth exploring. I don't know that it's the truth, but it is a version of the truth. And I'm super impressed. We got a great Twitter screenshot last round when we just flung 8 triggers on the stack. That was awesome. And we really showcased what this deck is about. Old Greasy, thank you for sharing it with me. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're going to go buy Invasions of Tarkir, remember, I have a TCG Player affiliate link that helps the channel at no cost to you. Click on that one. And I appreciate you. See you next time.